What do you do when you're a relatively well-respected professional, a Stanford-educated lawyer, a leader in your church community, and then suddenly you are channeling divine feminine wisdom? You are hearing guides, you are getting messages for people, you feel like energy, healing energy is pouring through you. That's what happened to me in the year 2000. And since then, when I'm in my deepest open state, the voice of a feminine source of wisdom pours through me. And it's powerful enough and different enough and logical enough, actually, that I can listen to the recording after and get something potent from the messages. So that's what I mean by channeling Ma. That's what I call that voice that comes through me is Ma. Now, it's 25 years later, and I have gotten much more proficient and comfortable bridging the worlds, knowing that as a professional, as a highly regarded channel, yes, and teacher, trainer, and business strategist, that both worlds are really important, and there's nothing that moves me more than the current movement, the current change that's happening in the world, where so much resource, like in the great wealth transfer that's about to occur, so much attention, so much leadership potential is coming into the hands of feminine leaders. And I don't just mean women, I mean a more feminine, nurturing approach to leadership in general. Hallelujah! So the wild ride that I've been on for the past 25 years includes a lot of different aspects, but what's being shared here on FemWisdom with Ma is special. This is the most raw, unfiltered, unedited, and also perhaps the most potent version of wisdom you're going to get through me, because she is literally coming through me. It's been a challenge for a while to know how best to present this straight-channeled teaching and transmission and aha and awakening and humor that is Ma. And this show, FemWisdom with Ma podcast, I think is going to do the trick for bringing through the best of this divine feminine transmission, wisdom, and profound healing that comes through for people when they really tune in. So this first episode of FemWisdom with Ma podcast is basically a raw recording of me channeling for myself, for my own question that my daughter Clarice helped ask while she held the camera, of why are we creating this show? Like, why are we taking this channeled information and inviting Ma into direct conversation with powerful feminine wisdom leaders? And what you're about to hear is me channeling Ma. That means I didn't know what I was going to say or what was going to come through my mouth. The energy and the voice that you hear coming through me are different than my personality voice that you're hearing now. And this is really the episode 1 because this is Ma herself speaking through me about why we're having a conversation-based interview show with a straight channeled deity, source, energy, whatever you want to call it. You are most welcome here. And check it out. Channeling has often been seen as one voice, one person, one deity, one alien, one celebrity, spiritual guru coming through one person. And that is fun as a game and not a true representation of how wisdom moves. Wisdom moves in relationship, in collaboration, in connection. Wisdom is connected to the combined, gathered experiences of the translator, of the person. Yes, that affects the translation. And so there is no one channel. There is no one speaker of the truth. There is no one translation of the truth. There is no one transmission or tradition or trajectory of truth. Truth is a spectrum that happens in relationship, that happens best in communication, collaboration, and dialogue. And so, if we are here to share feminine wisdom, which we will call it FemWisdom, feminine wisdom, because it's the best term we have right now for that return to a collaborative, nurturing, fierce, connected way of living and relating. If we are to lift and transmit and share FemWisdom, it cannot be from just one voice. And even when there is one voice who is acting as the focus, it's best if it's in communication. More comes through when it's in collaboration. More comes through in dialogue. More comes through when there are genuine stories and genuine desires. More comes through when we speak of things that are relevant now, that touch hearts now, that are shifting fears and minds now. And so we're going to play a new game, and we will call it this FemWisdom show. And we will allow this translator to translate the one truth as best she can in the form of the Ma, because the Ma represents that feminine, creative force, that mother who has been shut in the closet for a few thousand years, that feminine, grounded, nurturing, and yet fierce voice of truth that is tempered by wisdom. And as that voice comes through this one, we will be in connection and in dialogue with other women who are wise leaders in this realm of the Ma, in this realm of the feminine awakening that's happening in the grid of this place at this time. That collaboration, that easeful communication, that connected, humor-filled, story-connected communication, we think, will transmit an even greater wisdom than having one voice that people might mistake for a guru speaking. That's the old way. Or a teacher from on high. That's the old way. No. This time, it's the collaboration and communication. Spirit, earth, person, sisterhood. And to allow it to be held in a container of choice with a host who is also a transmission, holding things safe, and with a technical container that is also held by a transmission that makes it safe. In these times, when humanity is rebirthing itself, it needs its mother. In these times, when the human constructs of hierarchies and organizations and systems is dismantling to find a new, more connective way, it needs some guidance from what it knows already, from earth and spirit, to remember, to literally remember itself in a new web of connection that will transcend the abilities of the old hierarchies. In this time, when there seems to be a conflict and even a great war between the old way that has become a sick old man and the new way That is masculine and feminine dancing together until they can't even be told apart. In this transition, we need the protection, the containment, and the connective, linked, arm-to-arm sisterhood, brotherhood that is aligned towards the FemWisdom that brings the balance for this new time. That is why we are playing this new game. That is why we are creating it as such, as a conversation. We are creating it as something accessible and not so strange that it triggers those old ideas and reactions to someone who has positioned themselves as some one great truth teller. In this new connective, compassion-based grid, it is becoming impossible to fool people now, which is wonderful. At the same time, on the way there, people are fooled all the time because they are fearful and they are looking for a truth to grasp as they feel they are in a free fall from the old way into whatever is underneath. So we have the container so that those who will be scared don't have to participate. And those who are in alignment and are knowing of the things of which I'm speaking now deep in their bellies, they can feel they have a home, a club, a sisterhood, brotherhood, a place to relax, a place to remember. That is our why. That is why this next phase has now begun. FemWisdom, we call it.